I need your expertise and your charting and your traffic patterns and airflows and time passage. And how in the heck did they ever get from Oak Park, Illinois to Pismo Beach?
Oh, from Oak Park.
Yes, yes. So they're landlocked.
Well, I can give you a nice story, a hypothetical story. I don't know the particulars, but I can tell you a scenario that cannot be disproven, and I think it's very likely that this has probably happened sometime.
I think so, and I think what this is.
Sure.
This sounds like an excellent premise.
Have a seat.
All right.
Come into my parlor, says Dr.
Study. All right.
If I was in my basement, there would be 5,000 lineal feet of beach things, and there would be some ducks around.
Cool.
So I'm going to draw a map.
Light up.
Show you.
How much is that?
These are $3.50.
$3.50, and they light up.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have one of those. Okay. I want him to take these ducks from Pumpkin Moon,
Yeah.
put them in the ocean.
This would be the North Pacific.
Uh-huh.
Put NP for North Pacific. My mother was born and raised in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
So this is very personal.
Yeah.
And she was the one that introduced me to these ducks. So CHI for Chicago.
All right.
And she loved the Cubbies.
And they probably haven't won since she knew them.
Oh, well, she would watch anyway.
Mm-hmm.
My mother just loved the Cubs.
Yeah.
So now here they are floating in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
They have now traveled on a jet plane, and they have taken a car and put them in the ocean out here at Seattle. And now, here we are down at Pismo Beach.
That's a long way.
I did a road trip from Seattle to Pismo,
Okay.
and it was 1,040 miles.
All right.
So they were released here. Now, where would they go in the ocean is the question.
Well, would they hug the shore, or would they be carried with a current?
They'd be carried with the current,
Okay.
and so they would probably, here's the Hawaiian Islands out here, and here's Japan,
All right.
and so they would probably go out this way, and
Sort of south of the Hawaiian Islands.
south of Hawaiian Islands, and they would come up here,
Whoa!
and they come all the way back. Now, if they get over here and they catch a south riding current, which they did, they would come down to Pismo. Now, Pismo's down here. So now the ducks have actually taken 6 years. 6 years to go all the way around.
Holy moly!
And that's 12,000 miles. And now they come back here, Pismo.
Now, when you first did your container things, how did you do that? Well, you knew the exact date that the ship went down.
Correct.
And
no, the ship didn't go down.
Oh,
It ran into a storm.
okay.
The ducks that were lost in the Pacific Ocean were lost about in the middle of the Pacific here.
Okay.
So here.
So they didn't have to make a round trip.
No, but they did anyway. January of 1992, there was 29,000.
Ho, 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 ho.
Turtles, ducks, beavers, and frogs.
Yeah.
There's a bit of bigotry. People
Yeah.
prefer the ducks, but there's the turtles, ducks, and beavers and frogs. There's 4 of them.
Was there a better floater was there actually somebody, they say rubber ducks, but were the beavers kind of up there or down there? Or all the same?
Well, I don't know exactly how the currents treated them, but the blue turtles stayed blue. And the, let's see, the blue turtles stayed blue, and the red beavers turned white.
Uh-oh.
Turtles, ducks, beavers, and frogs. The frogs stayed green, and the ducks turned white.
Oh.
they seem to be found in the same frequencies.
Okay.
So I think they drifted about the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
So they drifted, and they drifted because of the time they were released. They came over here to southeast Alaska, and they came up here, and some of them went through the Bering Strait across the North Pole.
Oh my God.
Over into the North Atlantic.
Whoa.
So I'll put down here North Pole.
Wait, was that like under the ice or
On
with
the
when it
ice.
was
On the ice.
on the ice? Okay.
So they got up to Bering Strait in 1994, and they took about, and they got over here by the year, I don't know, 2010.
Wow. So that's pretty recent
So there
that you
was a
just found
frog.
those
There's
guys.
frog in Scotland
Mm-hmm.
and a duck in Maine.
Now, there's no way somebody was sneaking these in, right? I mean,
No, that's
because
a good question. These particular turtles, ducks, beavers, and frogs had been a unique design by the famous child psychologist T. Barry Brazelton, which is the modern Dr. Spock.
Okay.
And they are of such a unique design. If you find one, they could only come from that container spin because
right.
they made a very limited number.
Oh, okay. Well, this was really a good profile one that you sort of started your whole thing with.
Well, I started with
Yeah.
Nike shoes.
Oh, okay.
Nike shoes were lost about there, and they came ashore over here, and the Nike shoes were lost all the way through here.
Okay.
80,000 were lost, and my mother had asked me, well, isn't this something you do? I said,
Yeah.
no, but I'll look into it. So I called Nike, and they have a marine shipping department.
Oh,
I
okay.
said, oh yeah, we know all about that. I said, I need to know where and when they were spilled. And so they told me, very cooperative, very nice people. So I said, but I said, is there anything else you can tell me? I have a shoe in my hand.
Yeah, yeah.
And I read off the numbers. She said, oh, those are our tracking numbers.
Oh,
I
neat.
said, can you decode that for me?
Yeah, yeah. What does that actually mean?
So
yeah.
the Nike code was 90, 04, 06. Sounds like my high school gym locker.
Yeah, right.
But 1990 was
Okay.
the year
Yeah,
that they were ordered from the factory in Korea.
right.
04 was the month that they were ordered.
Okay.
06 is June that they were to be delivered.
Oh, okay. So
Every shoe had that number in it.
Whoa. So that's really specific.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
It's like 80,000 messages in bottles.
Wow.
Unprecedented in marine science.
Yeah.
Nobody had ever released anything near that number of identifiable traceable objects.
And so when they started doing their flow chart, I was like,
Oh.
whoa, it was great.
So I published it in a peer-reviewed journal, and I just my innocent science thing.
Yeah.
And the day it came out in Transactions of the American Geophysical Union, the press got it,
Uh-oh.
and the phone wouldn't stop ringing for months.
Yeah.
I said, oh, well, people like this. It's like, it's just, you're just an innocent in science, and all of a sudden you put your foot into the floating world.
Oh.
And I had really put my foot in it.
Oh, yeah. Well, now these two went all the way into across the Bering Sea and into the Atlantic. Have you found other ones that were deferred in other, ended up in Australia or something?
Every
or what?
month I get reports of ducks. It turns out that there are 2,000 individual species of product runs of ducks.
Oh.
Different.
Oh, okay.
And people send me ducks.
And you have to go backwards and quantify it.
I don't do that.
Oh, okay.
Because there's so many of them that I can't. All I know is the ducks from 1992 are clearly identifiable. And so those are the ones I look for. So I'm very species specific.
Yeah. But now that you've collected all these, do you still retain most of the ones you've collected in some box somewhere, or what?
I have a shelf of ducks.
Oh, shelf of ducks.
There's some strange ducks.
Yeah.
The odd duck, of course.
Yeah.
And
Now, did
It's no end of hilarity.
oh my God. Well, now, did when you got them, were they all merrily floating, or were some of them like half immersed in water? I mean, was there anything in the production of said duck that would ever let any water in there, so that we know that some of them went to the bottom, or did they all retain
Very
their
good
integrity?
question. Very excellent question. So here I knew who made the ducks.
Yeah.
So I called the company.
Mm-hmm.
It's called The First Years
Okay.
in Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, weird. Okay.
So, and I said, well, I'm a scientist. I've been traveling where they go.
And they said, a scientist, rubber duck. Okay.
So I said,
Have another glass of wine. Okay.
I need some ducks to experiment with.
Ah.
So they sent me a case, big,
Okay.
big box.
Okay, okay.
So then I said, and they got the case,
Uh-huh.
and I said, now is that how they're packed in the shipping container? Yes,
Okay. Now, this wasn't the same company. This was a like-minded company.
same company.
Oh, okay. It was the same company.
1992. As soon as they started
Oh.
washing ashore,
Okay.
I wanted to know
Okay.
how did they get out of the container
Right, because that's a big metal solid off
with
the
watertight
edge of
doors.
the, yeah, off the edge of the boat. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you? I mean, So
How did this happen?
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
So I said, well, okay. So here's how they're loaded into the container.
Yeah.
There's this case.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's got a plastic strap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cardboard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Inside of that, there are these individual boxes of 4 groups
Okay.
with plastic bubble wrap over 4 toys. So there's 4 of those in another cardboard box.
That's really a lot of work for a rubber duck.
I
I mean,
know.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
so-
wow. I, mean,
so
I didn't
now
realize. I
so
thought they
now
would just throw them in a bin.
So it's like one of those Russian
Okay.
dolls.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I said, well, how does this work? So I started saying, well, okay, the cardboard on the outer case pulped.
Yeah.
Pulped
Okay.
up.
Yeah.
And the next
Next layer. Yeah.
next layer pulped up.
Yeah.
And then the backing under the bubble wrap pulped up.
Okay.
And the toys came out.
Right. Okay. Now, was there a lot of buoyancy in all of these things
now
to
I got
hold
to
it?
this
Okay.
next
Okay.
level.
Okay.
Now I'm
Okay.
getting
Okay.
to your question.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, now, so how do I know they floated?
Yeah.
What if they got holes in them?
Yeah.
Did
yeah.
they sink with the
Yeah.
holes in them?
Yeah.
When they got in the Arctic ice, if they freeze,
Yeah.
will they float after they freeze?
Yeah.
So I took some of the ducks and some of the beavers and said, I put them in my freezer for 6 months.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, and-
and then I took them out
Yeah. Okay.
and I got a sledgehammer
Uh huh.
and wham!
Yeah.
They did not crack.
Really?
I said, these are tough. These are
Tough ducks.
Tough ducks. I said, So I got out my
Yeah.
my water bucket,
Yeah. Yeah.
my tub of water,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I threw them in there.
Yeah.
The specific gravity of the plastic floats.
Okay.
So you could do as much damage as you wanted to a turtle, duck, beaver, or frog, and it
Yeah.
would still float.
Right, because what it was made of, and would never the amount of weight or whatever
Yeah.
filled it would still not overcome
Exactly.
that.
And
Okay.
so people from Alaska in particular were sending me all kinds of turtles, ducks, beavers, and frogs.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing more tests. One
Okay.
lady said, "Oh, I was out hiking and a sea otter had a blue turtle on the edge of its nest." And she was so touched. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, "Boy, did you see the otter playing with it?" No, but
Yeah.
but she said I went and got it,
Yeah.
and it had been chewed with a hole.
Uh huh.
But I knew that blue turtle would still float
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's a specific gravity.
Oh, sure.
So now I had pretty good proof that the toys would float
Right.
no matter how they were damaged.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I said, no, this is getting more interesting.
Yeah.
So I had a unique toy design.
Yeah.
I had a unique floatability.
Yeah.
And they have been washing up every year since 1992.
Well, do you figure there's still some more encapsulated crates that really haven't gone through the breakage? Maybe down 250 feet.
There's only one container.
Oh, there's only one container. Okay, okay.
So but I know how the ocean works. So I said, well, every time they go around, you lose about half to the shore.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's a half times a half times
Okay,
a half.
okay.
And you can do the math.
It's like Half-Life or something.
It's a half. It's efficient half-life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you kind of. So now I said, oh, when's the last duck going to come ashore?
Yeah.
And you can do the math.
Wow.
Half times a half times a half times a half times of turtles, ducks, beavers,
Right,
trout.
right,
When's the
right.
last toy coming ashore?
Yeah, right.
And I think I got checkmate.
Yeah.
But it's year 2154 or something.
Okay. Well, let's make a date.
Right.
Now, any particular place that this is going to come
I
ashore?
can't
It
tell
just,
that
yeah,
yet.
yeah,
I
it's just
can't
up and
tell
down the
that
coast.
yet.
What is the farthest south that? Well, people have reported them. Okay, in the North Atlantic. How about on the coast from Alaska down? I mean, has anybody seen them in Mexico or South America or something? Or
now
where it goes back in a circle
There's
again.
nothing
So yeah.
written on them really.
Okay, okay.
So there's no none of the ducks say call Kurt. But lots of people put messages in
Yeah.
bottles say give this to
Yeah.
Kurt.
Okay.
So I
okay,
get stuff that's sent to me. Coconuts in the water. And people put things in the water. Say if you find this, send it to Kurt.
Okay.
So but the ducks don't have any message. But people kind of know.
Yeah, yeah.
But I know that it takes 25 years for a duck to go around the planet.
Okay.
The ocean pathways.
Okay.
So how long has it been since 1992?
Well, 90.
25, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's coming
yeah,
up.
Yeah.
So my theory is that these turtles, ducks, beavers, and frogs have worked their way around the whole planet. So theoretically, they are about everywhere. But and when you do the math, 29,000 is a small number.
Well, yeah, yeah.
So you need to be up into, if I was wanting to do an experiment, I'd have to make a release of something up into the tens of millions.
Jeez.
But then you don't want to pollute like that.
Yeah.
So I need something that is a clear marker from a particular spot that can be traced for 50 years. That's in the tens of millions. So you right away you have very specific
criteria. Yeah.
Criteria. So that they say, well, that can't happen. Well, 1997 there was a spill of 5 million Lego pieces.
Oh.
Right off Land's End, England.
Okay. Now, what's the specific gravity of Lego?
100 different elements.
Okay.
60 of which floated.
Okay.
So there was 3 million that floated. So now we're getting up into interesting numbers.
Okay.
So I'm waiting. I don't think I'll live long enough to see the Lego go around the world.
Well, right, but you know, it's okay. So the next thing to watch out for is Lego. So now where do we find out which ones to look for? Well, whichever one floats up.
It's on a Facebook page.
Okay.
You can go Facebook.
Okay, and that Facebook page is
Beachcombers at Newquay, Newquay, in Cornwall, something like that.
Okay.
If you just put in Rubber Duckies Cornwall.
Okay.
Or Legos Cornwall.
Okay.
You'll come up with everything.
Cool.
So some other friends of mine have been doing that.
Yeah.
So I said, well, now we're getting up into interesting numbers. So now I'm trying to find things that are some really interesting numbers. And I'm not coming to mind, but I know they're out there.
Yeah, well, it's sort of like somebody has to be aware of like your studies and also be aware of like bizarre circumstances where things have gone overboard that might somehow relate. I mean, there's got to be a lot of pieces in this puzzle. But
so I wrote a book called Flotsometrics and the Floating World, and it's still in print. I wrote it out in 2009, and the word's getting out. I do a newsletter once a quarter.
Okay.
I've on my 76th issue. And people kind of know. So I'm continually surprised. You know, people say, well, what do you expect? I said, I have no expectations. I expect the unexpected. I don't have expectations.
That's the best way.
I let karma, I really believe in karma. She she's my friend. And I have thousands of beachcombers around the world who will let me know something interesting. So I like to feel like I have my fingers on the pulse of the ocean through beachcombers.
That's
And
fun.
I love that.
Okay.
And I think that's what oceanography is all about. But it's not floximology is not an accepted branch of oceanography yet.
Yet. I think with that will close out. So we've solved the mystery of the ducks from Oak Park. And thank you very much, Kurt. Okay.
Thank you, Goofy.
Cut. All right.
Oh.